So finally, we get an opening update for Season 2, showcasing more of the KO girls. Goha Yuga is no longer a silhouette with the Goha siblings, and the ending shots have also been edited to showcase Roa, Asana, and Nail, also Kaizo. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today let's take a look at episode 89 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime series. A crazy good episode that was very entertaining as we got the duel between Tiger and Luke. Now, we're also looking ahead to the next episode in this review as it looks to be going to the moon. So, the duel itself and the episode overall felt like a coming of age for Luke's character. After all, if we take a deeper look at the elements within this episode, Tiger says things like how Luke can't face reality, how he's always talking a big game and having all of these big dramatic ideas, when it comes to doing things it never seems to work out or come to fruition. She says in this episode to Luke that him saving Rush Jules is impossible, and how he needs to wake up and face reality. Of course, we know the real truth is that Tiger is simply pushing Luke and trying to get a reaction out of him. But during this duel, Luke showcases a sense of calm and a very collected side to his character, and overcomes a previous impossible wall, and that is in the form of Tiger. With Luke defeating Tiger and overcoming that previously impossible task, it gives him and the others the courage to tackle their seemingly impossible task of saving Rush Jules. Another bit of potential symbolism that I really loved within this episode was that with all this talk of facing reality, we see a dragon monster that plays a massive part within the episode that is known for its creation of illusions / distorting reality. I'm of course referring to Mirror Gears, who then evolves into Phanta Strike Dragon, the Mirror Gear Star F, after fusion. And I have to say, this new High Dragon fusion monster looks really cool. I love its design, and the effects of this monster are also amazing. I could see this card being used a lot once it's finally released in the actual card game. Or in the worst case scenario, I can see it getting limited or even errated, because the skill of attacking directly, with it having a 3,000 point attack already, could be game winning in most situations. But of course Luke didn't use that choice effect in this episode, because the other effects seemed to benefit him a lot more. I will admit, seeing this monster get destroyed so easily was disappointing, as I hoped this monster would clench the victory for Luke. But thinking about it, Luke has always relied on Dragias as it's his ace monster, so seeing that get the awesome resurrection from beyond the grave within this episode was a very hyped and cool moment. Saying that, however, seeing Phanta Strike Dragon Mirror Star F get similar treatment to that of Master of Sevens, in how both new fusion monsters made their debut duel and had really bad treatment, just really didn't sit well with me. Justice for Mirror Star F and justice for Master of Sevens. So I would say Luke within this episode was actually really enjoyable. Seeing him so calm, seeing him act serious. Yes, he started off nervous and slightly unsure, but then as the episode progressed, he grew and developed, which is something I've really wanted to see from Luke's character. This, I would say, is one of my favourite Luke duels / episodes that we've gotten from Sevens so far. Oh, and was anyone else a little bit surprised that Luke managed to figure out that Tiger was just playing him along this entire time? Luke, you're learning! So speaking of, let's talk about Tiger, as she played the role of villain over the past 2 episodes pretty decently, I have to say. It was all an act because she thought dueling Luke and getting him emotional would boost the power of the Watches, thus making Goha City black out, which actually ended up being correct. The systems went down. Tiger thinking this does make a bit of sense. Kinda. Hear me out. Tiger also has a watch, but she also carries around a musical instrument made out of Gohinium, and that's what we learn the Watches have used when creating the gears within the Watches. The reason why I say this kind of makes sense is because Tiger did look somewhat surprised when the secret of the watches was revealed. So who knows if she actually thought this or if she had a different reason in mind. The best thing about Tiger though for me was her display of sibling love. When it comes to Tiger, you don't think of her as someone that would cry or get emotional, but she did exactly that in this episode. And I think seeing her tears at the end just goes to show how much she cares for her brother. Seeing him finally show a mature side, acting braver, and actually having something to work towards, knowing what direction he wants to go in, I think does fill Tiger up with a bit of pride and proudness. Tiger's new ace monster though, Trans God Breath, is a monster design that really just doesn't click for me. I don't hate it, but it's not winning any awards from myself. But its effect is awesome. Requirements: send up to 3 monsters from your hand to the grave. This card gains attack equal to the number of cards sent to the graveyard to meet these requirements times 1000 until the end of the turn. This card, until the end of the turn, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's trap cards. Effects: even if it attacks a defense mode monster, it will inflict piercing damage. Now that is pretty powerful. So, with the Goha systems down and the city now in darkness, our heroes look to travel to the moon of all places. They go there to face off against Otis. Now, the shot in the preview is very reminiscent of the dream sequence that we see from Yuga, I think in episode 1, in where he's imagining him and his friends inside the Rush robot and that they're charging towards a podium with Otis stood at the top. This I absolutely loved. However, I have one question in my mind. How is this machine still operating? Because surely the poly effect should have rendered it useless, like everything else within Goha. Will we see all of the side characters return and pedal to create the energy needed to boost them off of the ground and into the atmosphere? Just like how Errata and Schrodinger cycled to allow Nail to talk to the crew just for that short amount of time. If that's the case, we're gonna need a lot of leg power. Another interesting note from this preview though was seeing that Roman, Roa, Luke, Nail, Asana and Gakuto were all wearing the Goha siblings' crowns. We have Roman using yuccas. We have Roa using euros. We have Luke wearing Yujins and Gakuto wearing Yudins. Now these 4 characters with the crowns match the siblings that they dueled minus Roa, because Yuga isn't wearing a crown. So Roa gets euros thanks to the connection between Yuga and Roa. We then see Nail using Euros, most likely because they're both smart and they previously interacted. Think back on the episode where Nail was facing against Asana. They had that small little interaction there. Now Asana is using Goha Yuga's crown, which means they've rescued Goha Yuga. Hopefully this gets expanded upon because I'm intrigued to see how they've rescued him and if Nanaho and her ninjas got saved as well. Hopefully we actually do see a glimpse of maybe the Goha siblings versus the KO girls, because I think the kind of numbers match up as well to see that they have an even match, sort of winner takes Goha Yuga. Either way, an interesting turn of events. The overall left me satisfied with this episode because I found it really fun to watch. The emotional sort of aspects of the episode were a highlight as well, and another highlight for me was the comedy. I especially like the wrestling reference with the rope break and Asana acting goofy, counting, but for some reason her doing that just seemed really cute and wholesome. I liked the interaction. So those were my thoughts on episode 89 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime series. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you thought and what you think is going to happen moving forward. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll be seeing you next time. Have a great day. Alligator, madane. Goodbye.